on Conception Bay and talk to people with a proud history dealing with a gloomy future.
They came from Devon, England to here, a barren lick of land jutting out into the water, and for generations they stayed. Fishing has been a way of life in Portagrave since 1595. Today, most of its 800 people still make their living directly or indirectly from the fishery.
So this old place is here for the fishery. That's the basis of it. That's why people came here. That's why they live here. You know, it's much better to live other places.
But in their minds, there was never a better place, nor a better way to make a living.
I never get tired of underwater. I never get tired of underwater. If I'm underwater, I'm quite contented.
Each spring, fishermen and their families gathered on the wharf for the blessing of the fleet.
God speed the boats, their nets, their lines, their
Everyone prayed for a bountiful season.
Their captains and crew. God speed the boats.
Living off the water was good, especially for some of the older fishermen. But now, they say hard times on the water will mean hard times on the land.
They just don't know what they're doing, how they're going to stay in business. There's going to be business after business forward.
For example, we're standing here in front of George Dorn Sun Limited.
This is one of the oldest businesses in Portagrave. For 5 generations, it has processed fish, sold salt cod, as well as paint, gear, groceries. We're just trying to get a sense, I mean, what it means to places like this. I mean, what has the shutdown meant for this business?
Well, this business is in particular, like I was talking, where, you know, myself and the owners are after talking about the past, ever since Mr. Cosby made the announcement, this could actually be the end of this particular company.
There's still the odd sale, but not enough to keep everyone on. The manager expects to lose his job in 2 months, and he's getting married this week.
Here it is, my fiancée, she'd be finished nursing this year, and there's basically no jobs for nurses, so here you are supposed to be 2 professional people unemployed, so it's kind of rough.
Suppliers, wholesale, and retail always did well here. The Portagrave fishermen are the first to snap up the latest in fishing technology.
John?
Now, merchants like Byron Petton and John Edelman see a bleak 2 years ahead. When did you notice the change?
Oh, since the announcement.
Right away.
Once John Crosby made that announcement. Now, I wasn't at home the day he made the announcement, but when I came back, it was a big difference, you know.
I got cancellations on the phone and fax cancellations on Monday.
It's a shame. It's a shame that our rights have been taken like this, you know. That's the way I feel about it. I mean, I know conservation got to take place in the fishery, yes. But right now, to me, I think we've been cheated.
Okay.
Okay, buddy.
We're gone.
Well, we'll
talk to you.
John Edelman is heading back to Nova Scotia, having just lost 30% of his marine supply customers. Still, he's sure business will come back.
People that Newfoundlanders are, we find they're very resilient, and they're used to hardship, and they've put up with hardship, you know, throughout history. And if you compare them to a person from Toronto, what they think is hard times is nothing compared to what's over here.
But even here, some fear there's a limit to their own resilience. Before the fishery closure, Gus Daw employed 14 people in his welding shop. They made crab traps, outfitted ocean-going trawlers. He's just laid off almost everyone, and these days is making moose catchers. Like this. It's a barrier to protect a transport truck from stray moose. Is that what you're reduced to? Is that what it's come to?
That's what it's come to, yes. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing now in the fishery, not here anyway.
What about Terry and his family?
Well, that's another thing. That's all we got with this. It's either that or you got to go somewhere else.
Is this a place you want to leave?
No, I don't, no.
Why not?
Well, my father has worked a lot here, you know, in the last 15 years, building what he's got here. I wouldn't want it to be lost now.
Make a living off of moose catchers, I
Well,
suppose.
that's impossible. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing the 2,000 or 3,000 of those, but that's not going to happen.
At Clarence Mercer's barber shop, a man's haircut is $5. Boys get a discount at $4. Even with that, Clarence expects the shutdown will cost him customers.
Well, I think people are going to slow up a lot coming, because, like I would say, I think they're going to cut their own hair, a lot of them. Oh, well, one will cut the other, like they used to do years ago.
But years ago, Portagrave didn't think the mainstay of its economy, cod, would ever disappear. And now, that reality has just begun to sink in.
I've seen ups and downs, but this is further down. I think it's below sea level, if you can call it that. It's really down. And I can't see it coming back too quick. It's in your blood, you know? It's in the Newfoundlanders' blood to fish, you know? That's our real livelihood, you know? And that right has been taken.
This is history in the making. This is just not an event. This is history in the sense that it gets right into the daily lives of the people. It's much more than a news event. It's real history.
For News Magazine, I'm Tonda McCharles in Portagrave.